thousands of soft spines that look prickly but can just be brushed off. They make fine eating with good fur.
Yeah.
But I wondered whether if I lived here I would be able to resist taking my chances and scouring the woods for them.
Hello. Good morning. Hello. So, hello, I'm Louise, the Big Head Bookworm. Lovely to see you. Hope you're well. I saw you yesterday. I posted a video yesterday, which you may have watched, you may not watch. But this is my weekly check-in of Friday Reads. It's Friday Reads. It's Friday Reads. I have a cat. It's Friday Reads. So that was Molly, and she's just come in from outside. And I mean, we've got here, I mean, not in this area. Just move that. Not just not really in this area, but it's coming across the country. It's Storm Callum, which I realise in the big scheme of things compared to the other storms in the world is just like a rain squall. I mean, it's nothing, but it is quite windy. So we've just got wind here at the moment. It's very grey, so the lighting's not great. And it is pathetic compared to other places in the world. I still send all my love to people that are having to deal with such things. But yes, I put some washing out, not realising quite how windy it is. And I'm now wondering whose garden, which neighbour I'm going to have to go and ask for my smalls back. Because I say smalls, they're not small. Those days have gone, let's be honest. I don't do smalls. I mean, who does? Who does now? You get to a certain age and you think, no, why do I want the inconvenience of that? I want something I can tuck under my armpit, or, you know, you just want to be comfort. I mean, obviously you can still be saucy. Let's not go down there. It's Friday morning. It's far too early for those kind of things. So anyway, I didn't think I was going to have a cat, but then Molly came in and had cats who have been out in the wind. They're all a bit like that. Oh, I can hear another cat coming up as well. So Indy's just come in. Happy Indy. He's still happy. Hasn't got the cone of shame on anymore. He's happy cat. However, his foreheady thing is come back. Oh, hello, Ind. Are you coming in? Oh, there you are. Yes. Show them your forehead. No, he says, I don't want to show my forehead. It's all gone a bit nasty, so I'm having to take him back to the vets tomorrow. But we've not had any more oozing for a couple of days, but I'm taking him back to the vets tomorrow. And we'll see whether it is all right or whether we have to have Sad Cat again. But he's sat here. You want to say hello? There we are. There's Indy. Oh. All the cats. Sally's outside. Miss Sally's outside the front, so she won't be coming in. But it's nice. Nice that we're all here. Anyway, let's get on with what I'm here to talk about, which is books. Is this all right? Yeah. So I had my hair up yesterday. Thank you very much for saying nice things about it. It's down today because I haven't started to do anything with it yet. I will be doing something with it because I'm going out later and can't windy, long hair, not going to work. It'll be tethered back. So let me show you some of my incoming stuff because I know you'll like it as well. So Friday Reads, what I've been reading recently this week, what I'm currently reading, and oh, I haven't got what I'm currently reading. Stay there. I'm back. What I'm currently reading and what have you. So recent things that have come in. So I was going to show you this yesterday and I forgot to show it. I got Harry Potter Ravenclaw notebook. I've done it twice and I've been told that I was Ravenclaw and that I was Hufflepuff, so I'm a kind of a Ravenpuff or a Huffleclaw, but I've gone for it because it's blue. But how cool is that? That's lovely. So I got a lovely notebook which I haven't opened yet. I got a bookmark. Look! With a tassel. So that is lovely. Now, it's one of those that you can slip over the pages because it comes apart, or I'm just going to put it in and have that dangling out. Cat will like that as well. So, yeah, there we go. Got that bookmark. I got some, this was a while ago, I got these. Rubius Hagrid's Magical Creatures sticky notes, and I've used the bats. So yes, look at those. So they're really handy kind of sticky notes for marking up those pages or giving to Benedict. And then I got this, which I have no idea what I'm going to do with. Godric Gryffindor enamel pin. So I got these from Loot Crate because I have a Loot Crate subscription because some of the stuff is quite handy for presents and gifts and stuff. But look, you can get, it's the basilisk with the sword of Gryffindor. I mean, it's really cool, but I have no idea where I'm going to put that. Oh. Now we've got cat fights. There we are. Indy. Right, books. Let's go on for the books. I finished this, Peter Robinson's Sleeping in the Ground, which is the new DCI bags. It's just come out in paperback, this one, although this is the hardback. And I read it. It took me a little while to get into it, but once I was into it, I thought it was quite a classic DCI bag. So if you've read Peter Robinson before, which is modern crime set in the Peak District of England, so it features heavily about the kind of the countryside and the local area. If you've read it, I think this is the number 23 in the series, you will know what you're getting, but I thought it was a real good one. I have to say, about halfway through I was thinking, I don't know where this book's going, because it seems to have been all sorted, but it did really pick up. And at the end, there was that moment where you go, no, bad idea, no, don't do that. You know, there was some peril for a character, and I had enough feeling that I thought, well, actually, I must be slightly hooked, because I'm actually feeling the peril, so I thought that was really good. Peter Robinson, Sleeping in the Ground. I have also finished The Essex Serpent by Sarah Perry. So this was the hardback edition. This has been out in paperback for quite a year or two, I think. So this book has probably been around for 3 years, and I've only got to it. I can completely understand why people are obsessed with it and think it's fabulous. I can also completely understand why some people have quite a negative reaction to it. It took me a long time to get into it. And the Victoriana. So it's literary fiction. It's kind of melodramatic Victorian. A rich widow goes to Essex looking for fossils and this mythical Essex serpent. It was melodramatic Victoriana, and I do have a liking for that. I think it was written well enough that you could almost feel it was from the time, but I think there was the modern sensibility. I think it's a modern story written in the Victoriana style, which is completely understandable. I don't think she was setting out to write a Victorian novel. I think it was a tiny bit heavy-handed, and it took me some time to get into it. I would say by about 200 pages, I was in. I was like, yep, you've got me. And it's 400 odd pages long. So I was a good 50% before I actually thought, yep, I'm in. And I galloped towards the end because I just wanted to read it and I was caught up in the story. But even then, I felt I didn't love the characters as much as I wanted to love the characters, or I would imagine that you could love the characters. But I can totally understand the appeal, and it reminded me how much I do enjoy reading Victorian fiction and the Victorian classics. And I think it reignited my feelings for, do you know, why haven't I read any of that kind of stuff recently? Because I do really enjoy it, and I really like the Victorian melodrama, and I think this is Victoriana, plain and simple. I mean, I've not read what Sarah thinks about, you know, what her ideas were or what her inspiration was, but that's what it felt like to me. So yes, it was a slow start and a bit of a slog through the mud to begin with, but then I felt the story really picked up about halfway through, and I was caught up in it, and I was drawn with the story. It was almost when I thought, yes, this is a a modern tale. This is the modern twist on it, and saw it for what it was and not for what I thought it was going to be, which was, I don't know, I think I had to give up what my expectations of it were going to be and give up the expectation of that I was going to love it. I think I just had to, I read it for what it was, and met the book on its own terms and really enjoyed it for that. But yeah, so it was, I mean, I would recommend people give it a go, definitely. And I think if you did dislike it, no shame in that, because I think it wouldn't be for everybody's taste. It had a very specific taste, I felt. So anyway, that's my ramblings on The Essex Serpent. So I read that. I read about 20% of this. Gratitude Works. It's a very quick read, actually. That was only one sit down, so I should be finishing that in the next day or two. I'm going to have a go at the 21-day programme, see what that's like. I finished an audiobook. I finished The Cruelest Month by Louise Perry. Did I tell you that before? I can't remember when I finished it. Anyway, I finished that, and I'm now listening to The Last Wilderness by Neil Ansell. And I'm also listening to A Murder is Announced by Agatha Christie, just because I enjoy that as well. So this is non-fiction. It's a journey into silence. It's about this chap who is a nature writer and journalist, and it's about 3 trips that he takes to northern western Scotland over a period of a year, and I believe it's something to do with his hearing failing. So he doesn't have the hearing in one ear, and I gather the hearing is going in the other ear. But it's all about the nature and the change of nature and what have you. So it's really interesting, but it's one of those you have to concentrate on, and so it's not the audiobook I can just have on in the back. I want to listen to it. So that's good. Last book that came in that I forgot to show yesterday is the second in the Bannon and Clare series by Lilith St. Crow. This is the sequel to The Iron Worm Affair, which I loved, which is Steampunk Victoriana, and it's the Red Plague Affair. So I shall be picking that up next week or so, I should imagine. And what I'm currently reading is, of course, Couldn't Help Myself, Times Convert by Deborah Harkness. Oh, yes, I'm reading that. And there we go, my loves, that's it. Yes, there we go. So last night, for those that watched The Small Hall know that we took Benedict and my 10-year-old round his hopefully new secondary school. So he's 10 and he'll be 11 next year. So in the September of next year in this area, they go to their secondary school, which they then stay until they do their exams at 16. And then there is an option to stay on and do your A-levels, if you so wish, at 8 till 18. So it'll either be from 11 till 16 or 11 till 18. So it's a big thing. It's his big secondary school. So we went yesterday, and of course I'd forgotten, isn't it? He won't have been to that many secondary schools. I think he's been to a village college, but this is a very big secondary school. So they have a lot of, so instead of having one computer room, they have, a computer room suite, and they had, 8 art teachers there talking about it. I mean, it's a big school because it's catering to a big area, and it is the big secondary school in the area. So it was overwhelming to him. He was just like, I'll never find my way around here. And I was like, oh, you will. You really will. By the end of the first term, you'll be wondering how you didn't know where everything is. You'll be absolutely fine, But he was excited. He was excited about kind of what he could possibly learn and seeing everybody there and the buzz of the place. And it was an open evening for people coming to start, and then people staying on into sixth form. So it had a real, just, kind of hundreds of people there. So it had a real good buzz about it. So it was lovely. And he thoroughly enjoyed it and really liked the school. The school looks really good. And so we're going to apply for that tomorrow. We won't find out until April next year, but I mean, we're in the area. We should get to that one. And then we went out for a meal afterwards. the husband treated us. Yeah, so that was a lovely little surprise for Thursday. Friday is going to be a lot quieter, I can imagine. So there we go. There we go, BookTube. It's my Friday reads. I hope... Oh, I know what I was going to ask. Right. I've been listening to my podcasts, and I've got a new podcast. Let me see if I can show you it. Shows. And it's called Bear Brook. So if you like true crime, this is it's only got 2 episodes out at the moment, and it's by New Hampshire Public Radio. But it's called, can you see that? Bear Brook. So yes. Have you got any other podcasts that you can recommend? I'm really kind of running out of podcasts. I've listened to everything and I need a couple of new podcasts. So if you have any recommendations for good podcasts, crime if possible, but if not, ones that you would recommend that I can sink my teeth into, I would be most grateful. So there we go. That's it, BookTube. I hope you have a glorious Friday and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.